This weekend we're heading to Eugene. Aoibhe's running the 5K National Championships. You know, it's the big stage. She's had an incredible journey to get here, and we couldn't be more proud of her. We were in Albuquerque, got the call, we flew back home, and then, you know, that was last March. And for her, not even having cross, not having indoor, she had to wait until March, almost literally over a year later, to step on the track again. And she's the first person in USF history to make it to cross-country nationals, to indoor nationals, and to outdoor nationals.
The 10K was probably my better event, and I was ranked higher in the 10K, so I thought I just have to go out there, execute my race, and I should be in hopefully in one of those 12 spots to make it to nationals. And warming up on the day of the race of the 10K, yeah, it felt hot, but I was like, it's fine. We had cold towels, we had ice, we had plenty of hydration, so I wasn't too worried about it. And you know, I was hovering between 8th and 10th for most of the race, and it was going pretty well. I felt pretty comfortable through the early stages. Even coming through 5K, I felt pretty good, felt I had a good position. And then coming up with maybe a mile to go, or even just before, I started to not feel as good anymore. But you know, just told myself, it's fine, just maintain, just stay where you are, don't worry about it.
And then around 4 laps to go, her form changed pretty dramatically. She started running on her heels, and I called Tim, and we're on opposite sides of the track, and I said, something's going on, she doesn't look like herself.
And then it kind of just hit me like a train.
You could just see total vertigo setting in. She was out in lane 4 and, you know, struggling to direct herself, which was, I mean, that was one of the first times I've seen real heat. You know, degree of heat exhaustion play out for an athlete. Kind
of one of those moments as a coach where time got blurry, like you saw her kind of go backwards, and the first thing in my mind was I just ran straight to the finish line. You
know, 25 laps is a long way, and to run, you know, 23 laps and almost get there but not quite. Yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking, but it was pretty scary too. I didn't really have time to be sad about it because I didn't really know what was going on. I mean, I was helped off the track and put into an ice bath because my temperature was so high. So I was in there for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then yeah, then an ambulance was called, and they brought me to the ER, and they got me an IV and did a bunch of tests, and you know, just made sure I was doing okay. And once I left the hospital, I was feeling a good bit better, and we focused on like just hydration and everything the next day, and honestly the last thing on my mind was coming back to race. Yeah, I was like, there's no way in my mind at that time because I felt so terrible.
I think as the fog kind of cleared a little bit, we kind of started talking about it, and really it was a village that made this decision. It was her parents. We got clearance from 4 doctors all over the country, doctors back in Ireland. Like it was a really massive effort on everybody's part to at least give her a shot.
I cannot emphasize enough like how hard what Aoibhe did really was. Watching her do what she did out there, I was in tears for the second half of her race. And that element of fear absolutely plays a factor when you're going out in the same conditions, it's the same heat. We knew that was going to be on her mind, and she was able to push it out of frame for the time of the race and be really brave and courageous out there, and it paid off.
I finished the 5K, I was still standing, I was feeling good, and then I saw that I was in 6th, which meant, you know, 1 spot outside of automatic qualification, but there was still a chance. There was still a chance of time qualification, but obviously I was in the first heat, so we didn't know what they were going to do in the second heat. But sure enough, when they finished, we saw that my name had qualified with the small Q next to it, and we were just jumping up and down. We were so happy. So yeah, it was a really special moment.
And I think now going to Eugene, we can just head into this meet with kind of the mentality that we've approached races all season. You know, that she's always going to be a factor. She's a crazy competitor, and as long as we get her in the mix and she sticks her nose in it, she's got just as much of a shot as anybody else out there on the day.
This is definitely the most competitive field I've ever been a part of, and I know, like, if I can just feel like I gave it my all, I gave it everything that I could on that day, I'll be happy and I'll be proud of my efforts.